comes to you, as pretty as she is, and says, "Mom, I want to be a city girl."
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
So Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, like level headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother ways. Like, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
Let's take a look at this headline, shall we? Young Miami doesn't want her daughter living a city girl lifestyle. Now, in this article, Young Miami refers to herself as a whore. She's basically saying that she knows that she lives a free lifestyle. She does what she wants to do. She doesn't care about what society says. And if I'm going to be very honest with you, I respect that a lot because a lot of people are not self-aware. And it honestly takes a very special person to be this way because a lot of people will make excuses for their behaviors as opposed to just owning it for what it is. But here's the part that gets sticky, though. You want to go ahead and pause and read. In this clip, she says that she would not want her daughter to live and be the way that she is. So right now, I need my young girls to come to the front. I'm not even talking about 21, 22. Okay, I'm talking about 16, 17, 18. Understand something. The women that's teaching you to be hot girls and city girls and be free, wild, and just live your life how you want and skin out when you want to, they are teaching their offspring not to do that. And while I respect Young Miami for saying, what it is and what she feels like she is and not trying to hide from the truth, if she truly did not see anything wrong with that lifestyle, she would not say that she doesn't want it for her daughter. As a mother, if I was doing something that I'm proud of, if I was doing something I didn't see anything wrong with, I would have no issue with my child doing the same thing. So I'm not telling anyone how to live, but like y'all know, I care very much about my community, especially the young people in my community, especially the very young people in my community. So when you're deciding what type of lifestyle you want to live and who you want to be, and if you want to use the outside influences to make that decision, understand that some of them would not want their predecessors to be like them.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.
Let's get high, yeah, I'm about to roll. Let's get please, yeah, I gotta pull. Let's live life, yeah, once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh, for sure, it's about to go up. Let's get high, yeah, I'm about to roll. Let's get please, yeah, I gotta pull. Let's live life, yeah, once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh, for sure, it's about to go up. Roll my blunt and pass my...
So obviously those men have influence and they do impact the culture negatively because of it. But it would be different if they said, this is good and we should all be like this, right? I would argue there are men who are like, look, Snoop Dogg would not want his sons to be Crips, right? And I think that's the point. We should be able to be discerning between what is just entertainment and what isn't, and separate the artist from.
Just to clarify, these women, like, let's go with Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, like these women are saying that he's bad. What they're singing about?
Yeah, Cardi B has said, "I will never let my daughter listen to my music."
So that makes it an assessment that what she's saying is bad, or just that he cares more about her daughter than the rest of the women on the planet.
I mean, she recognizes that the music she makes is explicit and can negatively impact girls and women.
Then she wouldn't make it that kind of if her mentality and her principles. If she wasn't being a hypocrite, she wouldn't make that kind of music.
Right.
That's my point. It proves my point that women shouldn't be functioning like that. If the very women that are making the music advocating for that, and by virtue of making it, you're advocating for it. If you're making that kind of music, but you don't live your lifestyle like that, that means you actively know that what you're doing is wrong. So the point that I've been trying to make, the point that I'm trying to make is that whenever you have entertainers making music that is destructive to their own communities, to their own cultures, so much so that they don't engage in that in their personal life, they shouldn't be allowed to do it.
All right. Let's have a discussion. Cardi B. Miss Spin that ish. These women make really interesting music, to say the least. How is it impacting our people, especially that demographic that's very, very easily influenced? Think about that. We've watched a video on this channel of Cardi B stating she does not let her child hear her music. We've seen it, even if you haven't seen it on this channel. And I believe there was another video, a different video, where Cardi was listening to a song in a bathroom or something in the mirror on live, and then the daughter came in and Cardi turned it off. Do we blame the artist? Do we blame the parents? Who's to blame? I feel like it's a little bit of both. A lot of both. Parenting, overseeing what your child indulges in, is very important. It's so important because you'll get wrapped up in situations like these. And the same thing goes for the men's too. The men's, OMG, for the men also. With sons that are very impressionable, thinking that their favorite rapper spinning a block, and not every rapper was Pooh Shiesty. I'll say that. But interesting clips. I think it's really interesting how the message, how the people gravitated toward to spin that stuff song, and you got the mother and her daughter out here making TikToks or whatever they made to the video, or IG lives. They got popped. Come on, man. Who's wrong? Let's react to these clips. Let's get it.
Like that with a W, like I'm a.
But define that, though.
Like I'm a.
What if Summer comes to you, as pretty as she is, and says, Mom, I want to be a city girl?
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
So Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother wave. Like, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
Through her process and her journey to where she is now is why she is a 304. And that because she's given her daughter a better lifestyle, or given her a better life and upbringing, that she doesn't want her to go through the same type of trauma or journey that she has went through. I'm a big WWE wrestling fan. I have heard wrestlers tell people in interviews that they don't want their children to basically follow them in their footsteps to being wrestlers, because they have had friends, they have had close acquainted co-workers who have died in the ring, who have risked their life, who are health problems and et cetera, because of things that go on in the ring. So when a wrestler or an athlete or somebody of another occupation say that they don't want their children to follow them in their footsteps respectfully, we don't look at it any type of way. But when it comes to somebody who is promoting something promiscuous, when it comes to something that we may deem to be deviant, all of a sudden they're a hypocrite.
Now, the parenting. Let's speak on that. You can't control what your offspring does all the time, but while they're in your presence, yes, and it's important to give them that information so they can form their own discernment about certain situations. I feel like they're very wrong for that, but also they don't put that message out enough as far as like them not wanting their offspring to partake in what they partake in or what they rap about or whatever. Allegedly, we know what Cardi was up to before she got famous, but the parents, both parties should be held accountable. They both should be held accountable. As far as the message that Cardi and Young Miami are putting out there, as far as like, we don't want our children to listen to this or that, you can blame them, but you can't. And this is why I say it. I'm kind of all over the place, but they're putting it out there to the masses that they don't want their offspring to consume this type content. They're putting it out there to their followers. Their followers are paying attention to that. So in a sense, they're really going against the grain. If you really want to know, they're going against the grain, but they're still putting out one message more so than the other, along with the image. Imagine how many chicks out here then ran trying to look like Cardi B and Young Miami and went and scammed their way to Miami for a BBL. Yeah. Next clip.
All right, so I'm gonna play y'all a couple of videos from Young Miami herself, and then I'm going to respond.
Comes to you as pretty as she is and says, "Mom, I want to be a city girl."
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
So Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, you know, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother ways. Like, you know, I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, you know, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, huh? Okay, let's continue.
How has your relationship with your children kind of been through the height of your career?
It's been good, because my kids is kids. Like, my daughter is 6. My son is 12. He's about to be 13. And they not, well, Summer, she's not on the internet. She don't see nothing shy is, but he understand. He get it. He's very smart. He's into school. Like, he's not into nothing but, like, school and sports. But he get it. He understand.
Y'all black women in America is a bunch of followers. This is literally a employee of the white supremacist entertainment industry. They pay her to put out a message that she wouldn't even feed to her own children. I had people getting in my comment section trying to prove me wrong. Oh no, she do let her kids. No, she don't. Listen to her conversation. She just told y'all where her kids are kids. She want her kids to be raised very differently. Her son is focused on school and sports. What do you, y'all are a bunch of followers. These people could tell y'all to jump off a bridge and y'all would do it. Y'all believe anything. Everything I say is facts, but y'all love arguing with me. Oh my God. I just find the whole conversation funny because y'all get up here and y'all going hard as fuck on NDIRE, but this girl is blatantly telling y'all that she's a liar. She's a schemer. She's a scammer. Bitch, she's lying to y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with being a city girl, but it's not good enough for my child. Girl, bye. Bullshit. Y'all like fake ass people. Literally. Y'all don't like truth tellers. Y'all don't like real conversation. Y'all like illusions. Y'all want to believe what you want to believe. It could be right there in your face and y'all would deny it. Why is your music and the entertainment industry not good enough for your daughter? Why do you want her to go a different way? Why can't she be a city girl? Why?
To be real, you can't blame them. You can't blame them for wanting better or more for their offspring. It's just like how certain people get a certain amount of money, a certain salary. They might move out of the hood, but all their life they were raised by the hood. They could be the most gangster person you know. They move to the burbs, leave the hood. They don't leave their children in a hood schools. They put them in Montessori's and way better schools. You can't blame these artists all the way. A lot of people might not want to hear me say that, but that's just the harsh reality of it. You can't blame them. It's their job, and it's our job to better monitor or inform and educate our offspring about the whole finesse. If you made it to this point, say I made it. Thank you guys for being here. I'm out. Peace.